In the last couple of days, I have had the YouTube, Instagram algorithm push some things to me that I have not taken part in a couple of years. And I did it on purpose. So I'm weirded out that I'm getting these things now, but I thought I would get on and share with you guys why I left the online homeschooling community, meaning the community of people that all of us follow to get suggestions and, latest this and latest that. A couple of years ago, but now I've been homeschooling for 10 years, talking kindergarten, preschool before that, right? But we'll go 10 years. 11 years. So I enjoyed seeing what all the younger moms are doing, or seeing what, moms that had kids my age were doing and stuff like that. And then finally I just had enough, and I shut it all down. I unfollowed, I got rid of, I made an effort to not purchase things from people in this homeschool community, in this online homeschool community. I was through. So around about the time where the world fell apart, and slightly before then, what had normally been a pretty inclusive, generally understanding community. I grew up homeschooled for a certain period of time. I did kind of like in school, and then I was out school. And back in the day, Christian homeschooling was really the only homeschooling around. If you wanted to be homeschooled when I was in middle school, you went with Christian curriculum. You had groups that were Christian based, things like that. And it was okay. Yeah, there was some uneasiness sometimes when you weren't part of their congregation. And I grew up feeling that. I grew up experiencing that. And as a kid, it didn't really bother me. I know my mom has a different feeling about it, but it was quite interesting to me as an adult to see the vitriol and hate from a fellow homeschool community member, that it really set me on my heels, that I was then able to look at everybody and say, hold on, where's everybody else stand on this? And so then I took a minute and really looked at each account that I follow, and looked at everything that they're putting out, these printables that we all buy, these curriculums that we all buy, the complete disaster that was this community. During the 2020 issues, when everyone was just trying to figure out what's best for their kiddos. Some have religion, some don't have religion. There was this facet of homeschooling influencers that completely imploded the community with division and hate and separation. And I think the thing that gets me right now, and the thing that makes me kind of angry about this now, is the person who came back on my algorithm lately was the person that cemented me being removed from the online community of homeschoolers. I was done. I was done following those people. I was done buying from those people. I wanted to be so far away from the complete hatred and divisiveness that these people were breeding, that I went back to nothing online. I did this my own. I did the research I needed to do by reading books, and back to like the newest things being put out, and really removed myself from the online space. I did not engage, and it's like voting with your dollar. Unfollow is the best I could do, right? I wasn't going to get on there and say, well, you horrible person, because that makes me no better. And that person, who sadly is doing well right now in this line of bigotry and hate, and I mean religious bigotry. This is not a racial thing, though that was a factor. in another option, that these people that I followed that were able to understand that there was differences that we all had, and belief systems and life experiences, and we were able to put those aside or pull from those. Like, there were people I followed because their life experience with their kids in different communities, in different states, different races, were something that could help me. But all of a sudden, this became this vitriol, hatred speech that came from places that were imploding with the race division, and were imploding with this totally fabricated by one person religious bigotry. So anyway, so I got on these last couple of days, and that account keeps coming to me, and I really just want to tell Instagram to stop. I don't know. I mean, I can block, I can do all these different things, and I did at some point, but at some point I had to vote with my feet. I had to vote with my my dollar, and I had to unfollow, and I had to get myself into a mental space where I was doing what was best for my child. So the history, or the social history of homeschooling really comes out of mostly religious persecution, right? Like, you want to have complete control over what your children are learning. And so the vast majority, and I don't want to make any gross generalizations here, but the vast majority of people who have in the past homeschooled have been the people who like to incorporate God into their curriculum, and it's important that they filter through to what gets to their kids, and that is a noble cause. There are others who believe that their rigor and what they can offer to their children is the best option at home. They can allow them to succeed academically with what they have at home. And then there's this group who is religious. We are religious. I do like to incorporate God and those sort of things into my curriculum. I think it's important. I think it's important that we talk about it. But we homeschool because public school is not the best place for our children with learning disabilities to succeed. So when I sit on the internet and I listen to religious zealots calling out for cancellation of other religious things and saying things that are atrocious and race disparaging, when I see those things online, I think to myself, I don't fit in anywhere here. I don't fit into this space where we are all trying to do what's best for our kids, and it has become a battlefield. So I'm gonna make a few videos, because in my situation, I am not part of any of those, but I don't know a lot of people who speak to this middle ground of people who, yeah, we love God. We love God in our everything. We love God in our curriculum. We love all of those things. We are here to serve the Almighty Creator. We're here for those things. I am also here for diversity and inclusion. I am also not here to disparage you if you don't do those things. And that's agency, and I believe in that. But I also know that my children struggle in school, that reading is a problem. I have dyslexic kids, I have dysgraphic kids, I have processing speed kids, I have executive function, which all the same, executive function disorder kids. Those kids who are really good kids, who are not a behavior problem at school, but I want them to be able to acquire whatever knowledge they can here at home. it doesn't feel like there's a safe space for people like that on the internet. I don't want to debate religion. I don't want to be caught up in hating someone, but I want to get to the bottom of the things that are ailing my kids. I am also not of the community, which is usually homeschool community as a whole, of no labels. I understand for some people that is important to them, that their children don't get labeled. That is okay. That is not me. But, and you will see that with any previous videos I've put out. It is, all my videos are on how to understand the diagnosis that you're working with, or the behaviors or the symptoms, whatever you want to call them, which you see them, and how to work around it. Because homeschooling and giving more time doesn't fix everything. So for the next little bit, I'm going to make some videos that unfortunately puts me in a situation where I have to take part in the online homeschool community for a while. But I hope, my wish is that what we talk about here, what content we create here, is helpful to those of us who are here to help our kids, not to be religious zealots, not to find fault, but to show the things that we're dealing with and what I find is best practice in my house. And, you know, if everybody can be kind in the comment section, what is best practice in their house for these sort of things. And I will tell you, all of my children that have learning disabilities have been to public school and have been given an IEP, an individual education plan. We use those things. I grew up with one. I have one. It's written on stone tablets at this point, but it exists. I spent most of my years in a resource classroom. I know, if none of this has anything to do with homeschool, it's that I know the struggle. And so I'm hoping that I can fill that space. Yes, right now, my expertise is pulling my kids, and my kids are homeschooled and all have IEPs. I have one that does not have an IEP. So that is my expertise right now. We did school. I can go into that on a different video, but so we did school. We've done the brick and mortar. We've done homeschool. We've done online school. We've done books. We've done classes. We've done live webinars. We've done the Mr. D's. We've done all those different things. We've done them all after school. That's something that has been very difficult for us, and we're currently doing that. So it's one of those things where, and every state is different. It's one of those things where we're in a state right now that would allow me to get one of my children an IEP without having to send them to public school. But that's different in every state. So, unlike California, we could do that in California. It's a little bit harder. But I keep my kids' IEPs active. So if we can have a good community here, I would love to have you guys come along. Like I said, I have divorced myself from the online homeschool community because of a few key players that, like I said, unfortunately are still super active right now and currently pulling people in with this negative, hateful things. And so I dipping my toe back in an effort to shed light on this other portion of homeschoolers that do have religious beliefs, do like all these different things, but are mostly here just to see our kids succeed in a world that requires something of them. And so as I take my kids through this world where academics is a thing, I know we want our children to not have to conform sometimes when it's really a struggle for them, but this is what we're doing right now. And I will tell you right now, that's my phrase for 2023. This is what we're doing right now. And in the communities right now, in our country right now, academics, in jobs are always a good idea. So they're not always the end. So let's not debate that. And like I said, I'm here to tell you my section. If you have a differing view, it is super easy to create a YouTube video that you can put on your channel about your view. I don't want to get swept up into the argumentative portion of this homeschool community that seems to be the whole community as a whole now, which wasn't. So I'm just here to do that. I'm here to show you this way that we walk. It's not always the right way for you. It's not always the right way for me. We have done course correction after course correction after course correction, because this isn't, we don't walk this path for a fundamental belief of filtering and only feeding the good and the beautiful to our children. We don't walk this path for that reason. We walk this path because successful children need accommodations in a world where they don't quite fit. So I hope this wasn't too nasty. I will get working on the next couple of videos. We're gonna talk about online schooling. If we like it, if we don't, what we've used, what we don't use, and on why, and all those different things. And I will try to use my hands less, and I will hopefully get my teenager to edit these and get them up. If you have any questions, or you find yourself in the middle of this homeschool triangle that has become so sad, but this homeschool triangle, let me know, because sometimes, like I said, I feel alone in the reasons. I think we always try to find commonality of why we do something and justification, I guess, even though, it's not always needed, but justification of why you do what you do. And I haven't ever found that on the online community. And so I'm going to be that voice that says, we're here to accommodate my kids. I'm here to accommodate my kids to make sure that they don't leave the school system battered and bruised, but that they're super prepared for what college and working in an office environment is going to require, whatever. Anyway, all right, guys. I will work on getting other videos up. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But until next time, see you later.